What's the difference between me and you, me and you?
What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's been a long time since our last episode, but we've been planning a good episode for today. So today is interracial dating with a special guest that we'll bring on later. But before we get into all that, there's been a few current topics we want to talk about. And hopefully this isn't your first episode, but if it is, you got Chris over here and you got
DJ Bree.
Hopefully it's not your first episode, but if it is, welcome aboard. All right, so Little Mermaid. What? Come on. Like, somebody told me that I should be offended because it's taking away the ginger roles. And I'm like, we got Brave. There's plenty of ginger-haired Disney characters. I'm not worried about this one. But what's your take on this?
Honestly, it's done and I don't give a shit.
Right.
Like, the movie is gonna be made just because
Right.
people mad is not gonna happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's almost giving it more publicity, too.
But like, for people to be like so close-minded, like, I'm not surprised. You know?
Yeah. It pretty much proves we're still a very backwards half of the country.
I don't know where I heard it from, but somebody made a great point. It's like, this is a fictional character. So when it's fictional,
Mermaids are not real.
you know, it can be anything you want it to be.
Right.
You know, like, if they decided to come out in the next few years with a Mexican or Asian
Right.
mermaid,
Yeah.
don't make me no damn
I don't
different.
think there's mermaid culture that we're really aware of. But yeah, it's just disgusting. I mean, I think it's great because obviously representation does matter. You see all the little TikToks of the black girls watching and getting teary eyed, and that's what we need. For anybody to be offended by it, it's ridiculous. I'm not at all.
And then
And she can sing. I mean, like, that's the point. It's like you want an actress who can sing and definitely can act.
somebody posted a video in the chat
Mm-hmm.
of, I believe it was you, the artists of like some of the main characters, the
Yeah.
voices were black people.
Yeah, I did post that. Yeah, I had no idea the crab was actually voice acted by a black actor, which is like, oh, I mean, like, you can tell now, like, listening to it, but as a kid, like, you don't think about those things, but you don't see it. You see a crab, and you don't. The skin color, obviously, you can see, and so I think people kind of hold on to that. But that's what's so great about her being black is that black kids can be like, that's me.
We definitely need more representation, especially in the entertainment industry.
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely.
we definitely need more
I
representation.
know a lot of people didn't really even grow up with Disney movies because it's like, well, it's a bunch of white people running around. It's like
Me.
yeah, right? I mean, I know quite a few.
Me.
Yeah,
And I still, like, I have nothing against white people, but I'm not a good movie date because I don't go watch white movies.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them for sure.
Like, I just feel that we're way underpaid, way underrepresented,
Yep.
and, you know, if I want to spend my money, I want to spend my money on a black movie.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing against white people, but I just feel like I need to support my people.
Right.
You know.
Right, and that's why Black Panther sold out like millions of times because it was like the first like superhero movie you actually, or the whole cast really, except for one dude, was black, and also Woman King. Right, that's the name of the movie.
Yeah,
we need to go. We haven't seen it yet on
I'm
this
definitely
episode,
going.
unfortunately, but we're definitely going to go see it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to say that for sure.
That looks exciting, and it's Viola Davis is just incredible. So you can't go wrong with her.
What you said, Woman King, I was going to say, and then another topic
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Queen of England has
Yep.
passed away.
Yep.
And there's been a lot of mixed emotions about that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I don't care. I think. Well, I'm Irish, so maybe I'm kind of doing a little jig over here. But no, I appreciate the ceremonies and all that stuff, but I'm American. I don't care what's happening. And she has no political power. The whole royalty thing is bullshit to begin with because they have no power, actual power. More of the problem really is how people are reacting to it. So some people are extremely happy because it's a colonizer representation of a colonizer. So she's dead. So one less person that, to remind you of that oppression, I guess. But man, you don't care. I mean, like,
I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
it don't affect me over here.
Right.
But I do feel that Megan, she
Yeah.
married into the family. She's family. So
She's family, yeah.
don't, like, do her dirty.
Right.
I care about that somewhat, you know.
Yeah. No, I could see that definitely being a thing. It is dirty. what
And
they
how many
do.
kids they have? Like, come on, you have great grandchildren
Right.
and grandchildren.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's still your blood. You
Yeah.
know, so.
I mean, it's not the Real Housewives is a bad example, but there's still drama within that thing. I mean, you look at even the Princess Diana stuff. Like there's a lot of drama within royalty. But anyway, let's get to the real topic because I think we're both really excited about this, and everybody has actually online has been asking, "Are you going to talk about this? Are you going to talk about this?" So we're going to do it. And so interracial dating. When you think of interracial dating, you don't think white and Latino, Asian and black sort of maybe, but I think
Interracial dating. You think black
it's
and white.
black and white.
Yeah, for sure.
My ex was partial Latina, and so it's or half Latina, so it's like I didn't even think about that being interracial dating, but it is. But it's it's the black and white. I guess I don't know if people are uncomfortable with it. Or this contrast is greater, I guess. So I think that's maybe where we're headed. But
I guess because of the history between the
Yeah.
black and white people.
yeah, we got history and we got current. I guess a little bit.
We haven't filmed for quite a while,
It's been a minute.
and a lot has changed since we've been behind the camera.
In front of the camera.
In front of the camera. In front of the
Yeah.
A lot has changed.
A few things have changed. Yeah. I guess we can introduce our special guest now. Well, let's just bring her out, and then we can talk about it. What do you think?
Or do you want to say what has changed first?
No, I think we'll find out. But bring her on camera.
Do we want to say, hey, Chris got a girlfriend, and they be surprised and see who the girlfriend is?
We kind of spoiled it last episode, so if you actually watched that episode, we spoiled it a little bit. But yeah, I have a girlfriend. We've been dating for almost 3 months. And Marilyn, do you want to come on in?
Hey.
Putting me on the spot.
Putting you on the spot. Exactly. If you can't see and you're listening to a podcast, because some people still listen to our podcast, she's black.
I'm black.
She's got melanin.
Blackity
A lot of
black,
melanin.
Black.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, my goodness.
We're already making Grace
Oh,
sick.
It's real. It's not just for the cameras.
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to call this How the Fuck Did This Happen?
Well, we're going to blame you, Bree, because we're both your friend.
Yes. Was this like a podcast romance or a podcast
Podcast romance.
curiosity? Was she watching the screen like, oh, look at that white chocolate over there?
I don't know about that. But I will say this is not a melanin chasing, not a jungle fever, so don't even start with
Definitely jungle
that. It's
fever.
not a jungle fever.
I seen when you was having symptoms.
It's hot. It's hot.
I'm like, okay, Chris starting to get a little symptoms. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
No, a little bit. So, well, all right. So we actually all play flag football. So getting that full circle, and so we've played together. And obviously, you have Artist Avenue, and you put on your shows. So she's participates in the shows a lot. She's there in support, and so we've kind of like rubbed elbows, passed each other along a few times, or passed each other, and but never really thought about it. It never really was a thing.
Bree had a birthday party here at Artist Ave.
He did have a birthday party here at the stage. Yep.
And I came alone. And in that time frame, I was single-ish. Chris was working the bar,
Working the bar.
and he looked nice. And I tried to, kind of flirt a little bit, but this guy right here, over his head.
Because conversations that he and I had, he really wasn't interested. Well, not interested. Black women wasn't his type.
Well,
I
and
don't-
white men weren't my type either.
And I was gonna say, and
white men definitely weren't my type.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like thinking, why not? Let me
Why
just kind of throw it out there.
Yeah.
But after that night, when he made me pay for my drink. Like, I paid for my drink that night, and I was like, maybe not, maybe not, because any
Yeah.
other guy would have been like, I got you. Nah, he made me pay.
We can go on other things that I messed up on too, but we'll save that for later. No, I mean it was one of those things where I think, for me, I think black women are definitely attractive. There are many many women who were very attractive, but it didn't seem like a.
Not your type. When like
No, I just think I didn't think there would be like a return of.
you didn't think it would be
Lack of
reciprocated.
self-confidence and thinking that you could.
You say I'm not self.
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm just.
man.
I'm just
This is the
saying.
quickest relate. No.
And so we started doing this podcast.
And we started doing
and
the
then,
podcast.
Then he got all confident.
Then his symptoms started brewing like, hey, they actually don't smell that bad, do they? Huh?
Funny you say that. Funny you say that. So, mine's a little bit different. I grew up in Colorado, so white people, Mexican, like everybody, diverse.
Yeah.
White men have always hit on me, but I've never been attracted to white men. I mean, I thought white men were good looking, but it just wasn't. I had a type, and I love black men. My daddy's black. My brothers are black. I love black men. But it wasn't like I never felt like I couldn't date a white man because I knew white men.
Yeah.
But then I've had some bad luck in relationships, very bad decisions. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to try something new. And so far it's working.
So was this a trial for you?
No, I wouldn't say it was a trial.
No. The reason.
Don't
we
answer
actually-
for her.
I'm explaining. I'm talking about myself. Okay, go ahead.
No, it wasn't a trial. I mean, I went open-minded. People always say, have you thought about dating white men? I was like, nope, never, not going to do it. But we actually went out, and it wasn't a date.
No.
I heard.
It was not a date.
not a date.
I heard.
We went into it, it's just like, hey, like, we keep passing by each other. We're also part of this, you started this adventure club, I want to call it. So, like, hiking, you guys went biking, and you guys kept trying to get me on it.
Yes.
And so, first it was Bree trying to get me on, and then we finally, like, hooked up on social media, and then kind of started messaging there, where it's like, hey, come out, we're going to do this, and I kept not giving excuses, but my kids were kind of,
Excuses.
my kids were preventing me from really fully diving into it, and so I always kept missing. And then I think we ended up talking about something else completely outside of that, and it was kind of like, okay, this is interesting. Like, I thought she was attractive from Bree's birthday party, but apparently when I was at the bar, I wasn't paying attention.
That don't make sense, but okay.
I had a job to do. I had to make sure your party was good. So we started talking on Instagram a little bit through messaging, and we don't know anything about each other, but we've played flag football together. We've passed by each other. Let's go grab dinner. Let's go talk. So that dinner ended up being like 3 hours long. I think it was like 6:30, and we like closed down the place or something. And it was just we talked about things you wouldn't talk about if you were on a date. It's like no, don't talk about your exes. Don't talk about anything else. And we went there, and I think there was this ultimate comfort and openness that we both kind of shared. And then we kept talking, like when we got home, like she had to go home to her kids, and we kept talking through the night. And it was nice. It was something different.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You know, because I always bring good people around.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like
true. That's true.
Well, and I will say, had Bree not known you, I would have never ever even thought
I will
to
say
talk to
though, you made it really difficult by saying, "Oh, he's not into white or black women. She's not into
It
white."
did put a question in my mind.
It did delay some things.
you. Is
some
this a
timing.
phase?
Right.
that's me being a real friend
I agree.
and being realistic.
Yeah.
Yes.
If anybody know me,
We know you. Yes.
He's the real. He's
I'm
real.
gonna say, hey, and it was like nothing personal.
No,
Yeah,
you
but
were looking
I-
out for it.
Yeah.
I definitely want happiness and wish happiness for the both of you.
Right. Yeah. So far, it's been amazing. I mean, the one thing that I've always, the flag football, speaking of, is like just somebody who not only understands it, enjoys watching it, but plays it and knows it, and like that's been the best part of our relationship. I think not the best part. Like that's a great part of our relationship.
So I know the relationship is fairly new, but I do realize that you guys go out a whole lot. So
We like to have fun.
Yeah.
how is that in public for you guys?
I think we're really good at not paying attention to anything. Like we're so enamored with each other that it's like whatever else is out there hasn't really been noticed. There are like a few things where like we went to this monster truck rally. This is the funny.
Monster
We can
trucks.
explain that later. I got free tickets. I'm not into monster trucks, but there were a few black people there that were like when we went to the bathroom and separated. It was like kind of like got the double look, and so we've gotten a few of those. But
I notice it more from black men.
yeah.
When we're out
Yeah.
together, black men seem to like kind of just look at me
And your
What
inbox
are-
seemed to be a little
what are
little
you doing?
busier too.
I may not be politically correct with this, but for a white man to have a black woman, that's like a trophy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, does that make you feel more confidence that you got, you know, this black woman on your arm?
No, I don't want a participation trophy, but I got a pretty good trophy though.
I'm not saying to participate, but like, because
It was a compliment more to her than
no, because I'm saying like it's usually not a black woman and a white man. It's
Right.
usually
It's
a
usually
white man.
white women.
So when you get you an attractive black woman,
Yeah.
it's a trophy. And like,
I mean, I will
other
say, yeah, the
other
confidence
black
has gone
dudes
up.
like,
Yeah.
and how this dude get hurt? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Right.
how it make you feel? You putting your
feel
chest
good.
out right now.
I
He's
feel good.
he's
I feel good. I feel real
Like,
good.
yes, I'm good.
I've definitely been the most happy I've ever been. I think it doesn't really necessarily have to do with anything with your skin color. I think it's everything that's inside, and that's everything that we just, there's so many similarities, and that's the beauty of it too, is every day we're finding like, oh, you like that too, oh, you hate reggaeton too, okay, great. You know, it's like there's so many things that we would keep discovering, and I don't know, I think really the lesson of all this is just to be open with who you see, or because everybody wants to find their soulmate, but they're just, you know, especially if you're swiping. And we didn't meet on dating apps, thank God, because I don't think that would have been.
I would have never swiped.
Yeah, I
on
don't think we
ever.
would have really.
Or
Or it would.
I just never
It
would
wasn't
swipe on
a
a
type.
white guy.
Yeah.
I had a type, and he was
Yeah.
not that type.
And then to swipe, I think this, when you're on an app, it's like, okay, well, you're cute, like, or like that's when you have the jungle fever. That's when you're like, okay, well, I'm looking for this. So I think it would have been very. The first date probably would have been really weird.
Yeah, I think, like he said, going back to the first date, that wasn't a date.
Yeah.
The fact that it wasn't a date, there was no pressure.
Yeah.
And so we were able to open up. I told him things that I don't tell most people, which he could have like been like, I ain't dealing with this girl. but
You crazy.
but because we opened up, it's made everything else now like we could talk about anything. Like we
Yeah.
don't. There's just not secrets.
ultimate trust there. Yeah.
one of the reasons why you start this podcast is because you want to learn more about the black community.
Right.
You know, so has that like been fulfilled dating her, or
I'd say it adds an element that I wouldn't have known otherwise. I guess like because you get to see the internal. So like when we did the hair episode, like I know a lot more about hair now, just having seen it, and like and she does.
He sees me in my bonnet.
When the bonnet's on, don't.
He
trust
actually
that.
had to go to Walgreens and buy me a
had to
bonnet
go
because
get
I
her a
didn't feel well.
so with other women, other
Yeah.
non-black women,
Yeah.
how do they go to bed? Put their hair up in
Put their hair up,
ponytail.
or they just wear it down. Yeah, mostly wear it down.
So, but a black woman.
I mean, I
she-
wouldn't know about being in bed next to her.
I'm sure you have like a night routine for your hair and stuff like that. So that's different. I would
Yeah,
say.
it's a little different. But I mean, other elements besides that, the hair is like, I met her parents already, and so it's like what was the movie we watched?
We watched Guess Who
Guess Who with Ashton Kutcher. and
right before he met my dad.
Bernie Mac, and it was just like, oh, okay, I won't make any of those jokes. That Ashton Kutcher made.
Please don't.
I haven't seen that movie in a long
It's
time.
hilarious. It was
really
never funny to me until I watched it with him. I could not stop laughing.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
So he met my parents,
I met your parents.
and it took me 2 months. I told my mom immediately.
Yeah,
Well, not immediately, but quickly. I didn't tell my dad, and it really wasn't because he was white. It's because I was dating. And my dad is like, he's old school, like, oh, you're dating again, you know. So I just didn't say anything. And so when I finally got the nerve up to tell my dad, it was so like, oh, and by the way, I'm dating, and he's white, like real quick. Like, let me come in. And my dad was like, is that why you didn't tell me? Because he's white? And I'm like, I don't know. I just didn't tell you. But yeah, he met them finally, and my dad likes him, and my mom likes him. And I think the biggest thing that I like about, and I hate to say, oh, we're black and white, because it's
You
We
not.
are.
are.
It's a-
We
it's a-
see
it is.
color.
It's a realistic-
We
Yeah.
do
see color.
see
you have
it.
to embrace it.
And we do see
Yeah.
it, but we're so much alike. But what I do like with him being white, like I would never, when I say I had a type, when it comes to a white guy, like I'm glad he's a white guy. He's not a white guy
Guy
that
trying
dates
to-
black women
Yeah,
only.
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Like that wouldn't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
fact that he's who he is, and my dad said that what I see is what I get with Chris. And that's what I like about him. He is who he is, and he's not trying to like, oh, I'm only going to date black women and have
Yeah.
a trophy.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be
Right.
anybody's trophy. I mean, I
Yeah.
want to be
You
your
do.
trophy. I want to be important to you.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be like, oh, because I'm the black girl and you only date black
Right.
girls. So,
Exactly, and I think we know a lot of white men who do that.
Yes.
and it's
yes.
kind of
It is. It's cringy.
it's a little
It's
cringy.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to each his own. Do whatever you want, but like, I don't know. I think a lot of black women maybe feel that, and are hesitant to.
How different is it dating a white man versus a black man or any other? Have you dated anything else, just all
Never.
black? So how is that for you?
I have dated the same guy over and over and over.
Type of guy.
Same type of guy over and over and over. Like he said, it's the best and the happiest he's been. Same for me. It is extremely different, and I don't even know that it's because he's white. It's just because
I think we get along.
we get along
Yeah.
so well. Things that are simple, like watching football together. All the black men I've dated who like football don't sit and watch football with me. Like he'll sit and watch football. We can go to Dodgers games. We can just talk about anything, and he treats me like I know what I'm talking about.
She does. She does.
And so it's just the respect level is at 100. We went to an event Saturday, and there was an older black gentleman there, like a lot older. And he came over to us and he said, hey, I hate to interrupt. He's like, but I have daughters. He's like, my youngest is 52 years old.
Oh, wow.
He said, and this man, he's like, you two together are amazing. He's like, you're beautiful together. He said, but I want you to know I'm a father. He's like, and this man cares about you. He's like, and I see it. He said, and as a dad knows. He's like, you guys are great together. Know that he cherishes you, and you need to cherish him.
Didn't like say one word to us, or like we didn't talk.
We never
before
talked. He
that.
just had been watching us all night.
It's energy. You guys definitely
Yeah.
have great energy.
But and to see that, like, so the difference when I say like the younger black men, and not that I'm young, but the younger black men kind of hating on me a little bit. And it's mostly men that have tried to talk to me, but to see an older man who has daughters show like that's respect. And so, and I think that's what my dad feels too. So I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
She's a great mom, and she's like embraced my kids immediately, and so it's just one of it's like everything that I needed right then in that moment. She's been there to fulfill, which has been amazing. And that's nothing to do with our skin color, but I think maybe having the previous relationships that we have had because of our situations, maybe that's kind of gets into it. That helps appreciate what each other offer.
So what advice would you give other white men that's interested or possibly?
I think don't go out and search for it. I think that's just the
Don't go searching.
Don't go searching for it, because when you search for it, you're not really, you don't know what you're really after. Because I think that's the best part about that dinner was it really was no expectations. We're flag football teammates.
I don't know, the way y'all both texted me.
After the fact?
Yeah, like, yeah, we kind of went on a date, but it wasn't a date. I'm like, okay.
I said I went out with Chris, and Bree was like, "Was it a date?" And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
And
We didn't kiss after it, so
Well,
I'll tell
yeah,
you
we
that.
didn't
It
kiss.
was
Like
just-
he paid, so I guess that made it
Yeah.
a date. But
I don't think they should make it a date just based on that. But
I mean, but that
Yeah.
I don't know that it was a date. But now
Yeah.
looking back, it probably was a date.
yeah, sure. I guess.
let's talk about the elephant in the room.
I knew it was coming. Where's the elephant? I'm trying to look.
So, yeah, how is that?
Oh, that elephant. I was like, where are we going with this?
Like, is there a difference in white men and black men? Is there a difference in white women and black women or other, how is that?
I think it all has to do with connection more than it has to do with anything else. I think when you're really connected with somebody, that's what makes everything just that much better. But it's nice, and I think she'll say the same thing, that we're on the same page as far as, because I mean, I don't know if people know what we're talking about, sex. Yeah, for the listeners at home. Yeah, it's been good. We're on the same page for like everything, which is really nice.
Because they say Once you go black,
Black,
you don't go back, and once you go white, you know you've been licked right. So
I will say that is absolutely true. I'm just gonna say, I had heard that too.
I have to remind you, my mom's listening, but that's fine.
Hi, Mom. Sorry. No, it. Like he said, the connection.
We're all
I
adults.
think when it's like I said, it's only been 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a lot longer. And you see those memes that say, you can know somebody for 3 months and get married. And I'm not saying we're getting married, but you can know somebody for a few months and it's just
You just know.
the
Yeah.
final. Or you could be with somebody for 5 years, 7 years, and
Yeah.
it never was. I was married, and I was with him 7 years. Horrible. And I will say, in the 3 months we've been together, I feel like we know each other better than I've known any other man. And we've connected more than I have because we talk all the time. And so that connection and that intimacy outside of sex makes everything else better.
Yeah. And I don't know if that really has to do with because we don't know about each other's culture, if you want to put it that way. Like, I don't know if it really has anything to do with that. It might. I think it's the exploration of it. Like, but there really isn't like a huge difference. There really isn't a difference.
Yeah.
really
I mean, there's
isn't.
some differences, but
Yeah.
it wasn't hard. For instance, the going to bed and my hair
Yeah.
and just different things like that. I thought it would be an issue,
Yeah.
but there wasn't an issue. I mean, he made it so comfortable. Like, I got so comfortable with you so fast that even with black men, I wouldn't, I not want to put my bonnet on or not want to do this. But it's just we're at a comfort level that I haven't ever had with anybody. So.
all right, so before we got to home base and where's at third base, was there like a little like, what is this about to be like? I've never had a black woman. I've never had a white man. What was that third base like for you guys? Well, how was first base? Let's start at first base. How was first base?
I can't remember when first base was.
Yeah, I don't either.
So y'all don't remember y'all like first kiss?
It wasn't the first date.
That's not the first date. What was the second date? You remember?
Our first kiss was actually when he had COVID.
Oh, please.
I'm just going to be honest. I was like, I'm strong. I'll be fine.
She's already had it.
And I didn't get it.
That's what did it. That's what kind of like put us over the edge as far as knowing. So I got COVID. It was like the
next day.
The next 2 days after or next day, I was like, oh, I'm feeling a little hot, and my temperature, and did a COVID test, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I have COVID now. And like the next day, I got this care package, like groceries, like bags and bags of like green juice, like vitamins, and all this stuff, and I was just like, who does that? Like we didn't really even know each other that well, and she did that. And I was like, oh, this is different. she cared. Okay, this is something I gotta explore.
And the thing is, I do that. You're special. Nothing. I'm not saying you're not, but that's just
she's
me.
a great friend.
That's
Yeah.
who I am.
Yeah,
like I'm
she's
gonna
a
do
great-
that for anybody.
Yeah,
Like that's
exactly.
just the person that I am. And some
Yeah.
people actually get offended by that.
Right. Yeah.
I dated a man. Obviously, he was black because you're the first white, and he lived out of state. And I sent him a care package. He was sick. No, his kids were sick, and I sent something just saying, "Hey, I hope they feel better." And he told me I was stalking him and cut me off completely. And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Are you kidding me? I was trying to do something
Yeah.
nice, but that's just who I am." So
But we didn't get to past first base.
Past first base,
But like,
no.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
you guys, was it like,
I don't-
how is this about to be for me? Like,
I
or
don't
you
think-
like nervous? Like, damn.
I think it's the same nerves you have with anybody, really. That's like, okay, like how's this gonna go? Like, like you seeing me naked, like how, and obviously, I think every white person or the stereotypes of white people and black people and their dick sizes and all that stuff. I think it's
So were you like?
no, I was
concerned,
not
like-
Well-
concerned.
and I don't know if he wants you to say this. No, but no.
Uh-oh.
He, when we went out on that date that night or whatever it was, we talked about everything, and sizes came up, and he wasn't talking about his size. We were just talking about white men versus
Yeah.
black men and showers and growers, and I had never heard that term.
Never?
Never. But when he said showers and growers, I'm like, oh well, maybe that he's a grower, maybe he's a shower. I wonder what he is. So I was curious to see what he was. But yeah, so it came up. But there weren't surprises.
I'm not white anymore. I'm red.
There were no surprises. I mean, I think for me it was a little bit because I always heard pink. And so I thought, it was just curiosity.
Most definitely people would be like a little pink meat. You know?
So there was curiosity, but once you get past that curiosity, it's the same. It's the same. And the affection that we have it's from day one. It's been, it's been good.
We found a better solution for headaches and
And sleeping.
sleeping.
This is interesting. I hope you viewers are learning something
Learn
today.
something.
You
Learn
know what I'm saying?
Our producer's just like,
Our
"Oh,
producer is wide-eyed.
how's that live looking?"
Oh, we're live. Cheers.
Hey. Obviously, you guys wasn't disappointed. We're still here today.
Nope. It's been very good.
And I think you asked about confidence.
Yes.
I've always been very confident. But I feel that my confidence has even got higher since dating because I don't have to put on a show anymore.
Yeah.
So what show was you putting on?
I felt like I always had to be done up.
Okay.
I always had to have my makeup on. I always had to be name brand. Because the type of men I was dating had this image. And so I felt like this image was always being portrayed. Even though it wasn't really me, I like to look nice. I like to dress up. But I also like to shop at Ross. And I feel you could dress up on a dime. And there's days I don't want to dress up. And Chris doesn't care.
I'm glad you mentioned dress because Chris has this thing like, oh, why you spend so much money on clothes?
Yeah.
And Chris is a little more relaxed
He's
dressed.
getting better.
Very
You know,
relaxed, yes.
so
He's getting
recently
better.
I seen a picture. You guys went to this amazing restaurant.
Amazing.
71
And,
above is a really good
I
restaurant.
saw the picture and I'm like, Chris got some nice drip on. Has he been watching me or did Marilyn do this?
No, I'm taking a little note on yours, but no, like she loves to coordinate, and I don't know if that's necessarily a black thing or not because you're always coordinated anywhere you go. You have really good style, but she loves planning the outfits, which for me is like I don't care as long as I look okay. But then now it's kind of like, oh shit, I gotta step up my game a little bit because she looks
feel?
amazing.
How do you feel when you have that on?
I mean, seeing the results looks good. Like at first it was kind of like, who cares or whatever. And now it's kind of like, especially when getting the haircut. So
Yeah.
Marilyn started getting me the black barber shop. So every month she pays for my haircuts, which is her gift to me, which is great.
Because he treats me all the time. I'm not taking care of this man,
No.
but I do think it's important to take care of each other. And he definitely spoils me. So the least I can do is make sure that
That I
his
look
hair
good
looks the
when
way
I'm
that I
with her,
want him to
'cause-
look.
I gotta look good with it. So it's like, okay, like maybe today's not the best example because I haven't
It's
cleaned
been a few
up.
weeks.
But elevating the look, okay, like it kind of does matter now. So it's
I see the confidence.
So
I see
so
the
you can
confidence
see why
change.
us black people
Yeah.
like why we do it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
so you get a better understanding now.
yeah.
Especially when you go out. Like I said,
Yeah.
I don't want to always dress up.
Right,
Like when
yeah.
but when I leave the house to
Yeah.
go to an event,
Right.
You want
there's gonna be something new. Like I
Mm-hmm.
tease him because I'm like, I can't put that picture on Instagram. I already wore that outfit, and he's like, "Who cares? I care. Like I care."
Yeah.
So, but I do see he lets me dress him. I say he's my Ken Barbie doll because he lets me kind of pick out, and I see the not that
She's
you
got
weren't
good taste.
confident,
You got great
but
taste.
I see how he.
No, it definitely like even though like he had a glow like a female in the picture. Like Chris was glowing. I was like, look at him. He had the loafers with no socks. I'm like, okay, Chris.
That was a new thing, but we got all this stuff out like Ross, and it's like you don't have to spend a
No, you don't.
Yeah,
have to
you
spend a
just
ton of
have to
money.
look and put things
Yeah.
together.
It's just
for
some
sure.
nice styles,
It-
yeah. And
it-
so I
it
would never
really
go
don't-
buy those shoes by myself. I'm like, like those look stupid. And then I'm seeing a picture. I'm like, oh, those are kind of cool.
Yeah, he liked
Like
it.
it really doesn't cost that
Yeah.
much
It's just
if you know
putting
how
the
to
attention to
put it
detail.
together.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly. Yeah.
It really don't.
So, and I will say that Chris kind of coordinated. He said today we should do black and white for the contrast, me white, him black. So
I changed from my black and white
he kind of getting a little bit.
Yeah.
for sure.
Pink looks good though. Pink's
Pink
fine.
and pink goes with it.
It's because of pink meat.
Yeah.
Are you- I say, am I influencing you a little bit?
You're getting red.
I'm very red. Yeah, I know.
Sorry, Joy.
She'll talk to you later.
I did pay attention. I think I went through like some of the likes on the comments. Your mom have met her, right?
Yes. Yeah.
We had lunch with her.
We had
at her
lunch.
house.
Yes.
Is she supportive of the relationship?
No, she hates black people. Yes, she's very, she's very supportive. Yes.
His mom and my mom are so much alike.
Yeah.
So
Because
much.
I haven't seen her like any pictures though.
Oh, she has.
Yes, yeah, she's commented.
I haven't seen.
She's not on Instagram.
No, on
On
Facebook.
Facebook.
I
She
haven't-
has. She has.
She initially, I mean, recently I don't think she has, but she initially was
maybe.
liking everything.
Because I was paying attention.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
Joy
you
take
take
about this?
When he
Yeah.
told
Oh.
Miss Joy that he was bringing me over, her response was, "Any announcements?" Like, no, just coming to say hi.
That's because
So.
of previous relationship.
And so we have Thanksgiving, holidays coming up.
Yeah.
Who's doing the cooking?
Her dad, probably. Her dad is a bomb barbecue man. I'm sure he can make anything.
Yeah, he always has deep fried turkey.
There you go. And I have never had deep fried turkey. So
No?
You know
He's
that's
never had deep fried turkey,
that's always been oven based. Yeah.
oven based.
With seasoning or no?
Actually, you know what?
Just mayonnaise. It's
No.
all over the
Chris
top.
Chris has cooked for me, and he uses seasoning.
Okay. and
I
how-
do.
Okay. So how is that? Dude,
He cooks. He made me salmon. It was bomb. It was
Okay.
fire.
would you tell them the truth?
Oh yeah, like I said, make me some. I'm on my way. Give me leftovers. Like it was that good that I ate, and I don't like leftovers. And I will say that I judged him a little bit. That first time we went out, I made him pick where we're gonna eat just to see what he would pick.
Oh, okay.
And he went.
It wasn't
with,
Burger King.
It wasn't Burger King.
Where
He
you guys
went
go?
with- it was a Mexican restaurant,
Yeah, it's a Mexican restaurant in on Ventura.
but it was really good.
And
You usually can't go wrong with Mexican.
You really can't. And it's like she loves margaritas, so it was just kind of one of those like we had too
Yeah.
many margaritas.
But had he picked something like
Olive
or
Garden.
cheesecake, yeah, Olive Garden or Cheesecake Factory, I would have been like, he's basic. I can't do this. But he came good. So
Yeah. What about you, Bree? I mean, obviously we don't get to hear your side of this.
What do you want to know from me?
What do you think of interracial dating?
I believe love is love.
Yep.
No matter what. As long as two people are happy,
Yep.
that's all that matters, you know.
Right.
And just hopefully that families support those two. But if
Yeah.
the families don't, then you just figure who's more important to you.
Right. Yeah.
You know. But yeah, love is love to me.
I think we're old enough now that families are important, but it doesn't really matter what
Yeah.
they think. You know, if we were 18, maybe it'd be different.
Yeah.
But
right. Still living under their dime. Yeah.
but yeah, at this age,
It's like you can't get with the program.
yeah, like
Yeah.
we're moving on.
Yeah.
and
Right.
and thankfully so far, my family has been, and the only people I care about in my family is my mom, dad, and my kids. And they support. My kids think he's white, but they're like, I'm glad
Even her
you're
white
happy.
friends think I'm white.
Yeah, even my white friends say he's white.
I wouldn't say Chris is like white. Like
They all say
There's
that.
a few shades whiter. Yeah. But
I think he understands. You know what I'm saying? He's not one of those that's totally oblivious.
yeah.
Yeah.
He have some, but he's not totally so.
And he's willing to ask questions if you don't. Like, that's the thing. If you don't know, just ask.
Yeah. Right. I think
And
a lot of
he'll
white
ask. Like,
people
people,
just avoid
like,
it.
they just don't ask. They avoid it. And, like, the fact that he'll ask and,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think again the podcast has been helpful for me and hopefully for other people, but I think it's really kind of trying to figure out how to bring equity to this whole country. And obviously, living in California, it's easier said than done because it's other parts of the country that are really the struggling parts to get where we are.
You said something about equity, but it triggered finances for me. And I know like finances really like ruins a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
So have you guys got down to like the finance talk?
I mean, we're
and
3 months in, but I mean, not really. I think we both have aspirations
to figure out like who can manage money and do all of that?
Yeah.
I definitely feel like he just knows more. Like he's talked to me about investing and the stock market, like things I just don't know. I basically have been a single woman, a single mom my whole life. I mean, I was married a little bit in there, but he was a bum. And so during that time, I was taking care of me, my kids, and him. And so I didn't think about how to manage my money better or how to do things. And so now, as my kids are older and I'm starting to learn, like he's been telling me and teaching me things that I just didn't know. I didn't have time to know. I didn't try to know.
I think that's also the thing we discovered is timing is everything. Because if we met 2 months, or if we like kind of decided to get to know each other more 2 months earlier, it would have been completely different, I feel like. And so timing was definitely in our favor. But yeah, I mean, I think you have the benefit too of you served in the Air Force, and so she now has a pension, and so she's retired from that, and so she gets to really focus on what she wants to do. So I think that's to my benefit as far as her having her attention and her focus, and we can really get down to business. I think in the future we have some things on the pipeline we're actually trying to work on together.
So I have a brother, and he was killed by officers 3 years ago. But before that, he was in the system. And I learned a lot about the system while he was in there and how it fails, not just black men, but just people. The system fails people. And there's no reform. There's no rehabilitating, because when you get out, you're still under the thumb. They expect you to pay restitution. They expect you to show up for a urine test, which costs, and nobody will hire you. And so when I retired, one of the things that I wanted to work with was helping people who have got out of the system get out of the system, completely out of the system. And I had no idea Chris was kind of looking at that same thing. And one day we're just talking. I'm like, what? That's another thing we got in common.
Some weird thing.
Like crazy that we both, had no idea. But that's something that we really want to get into, is helping people and like showcase. Because there's so many people out there that go to jail, get out, and have amazing talents and amazing ideas, but just don't know how to do it.
And they're hampered.
And they're hampered because society says, oh, you're ex-con. And so that's kind of down the pipeline, building people up.
Another question was triggered because you kind of hesitated when you said you was going to say black man, but then you corrected and said men. Yeah. But do you feel you have to be more careful with your wording now that you're dating a white man and vice versa? Do you think you have to be more careful?
I don't
really. Yeah, I don't. There's nothing.
When I said black men, and I hesitate because I just think the system fails everybody. Yeah. There's just more of us in there, and so naturally there's more of us to help. But people get into the black, white, man, woman. The system fails people.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
What about when these racial tension things come up, like in the media? How do you think that's gonna affect you guys? Because,
I think we talk about it.
Because it makes you angry.
Yeah.
So I got angry about something that he sent me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had to send the message to my best friend and be like, am I over? And she's like, girl, calm the fuck down. Because he sent me this photo. And because it triggers, because we get triggered. And it was a black man.
No, white man.
A white man sitting on the ground. It was a black and white photo. He's sitting on the ground with a cigarette. She has a cigarette, right?
She has a cigarette.
The black woman has a cigarette in her mouth. Her hair is kind of unkempt. And she's cutting the white man's hair in between her legs.
He's reading a newspaper.
And he's reading a newspaper. And it looked like it was back in the day. And he sends it to me thinking, oh, this is so sweet. And I was like, I got all kinds of stuff to say about this picture. And I was mad. And he was like,
what did I do?
He was like, I thought it was really sweet. It reminded me of us. And And I was like, no, this is oppression. This is that. This is this. And it just triggered me. And I said, why do we got to take care? You guys want us to take care of you. You want, we weren't good enough to be whole people, but we could nurse your babies. And I just went off like, and then I sent it to my girlfriend.
And I was done with black women at that point.
I sent it to my girlfriend and she's like, calm down. She's like, I thought it was sweet too. And so
Because
then
it was an intimate moment between the couple. Like,
yeah,
and
but
because
I just saw
I
it
had
as
explained,
different.
yeah, I had explained it, and it's like that kind of woke you up. Where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we will see
Things differently.
Yeah,
completely
see
you will.
things differently.
Yeah. So how
Yeah.
like how do?
But we talked about it, and he
Yeah.
said I didn't even think that. it
but
could
you
be-
snap first.
I snapped.
Oh.
I snapped in text. But then I came back, and my girlfriend was good enough to Google find that image, and get the background, and it was a current image, and I felt, and I apologized. I said, but it just triggered me, like seeing.
So did you got a taste of the angry black woman?
That's really the only time, except for when I didn't buy her food when I bought myself food.
But how did that make you feel? Because there is a stereotype, and Maryland is not really an angry
No, I
woman.
mean, outside of that, we've never had that issue. And I want to egg it on, but like I want to push, I want to push her buttons, but like I want to see, okay, what's the bad side of it? You always want to see the worst side of somebody.
Yeah.
So, okay, I can work with this.
Let's see if I can.
And
yeah.
I can work backwards. But I think we just have such a, and I don't think it really ever will.
We've had some, I wouldn't say heated discussions because we don't get mad at each other.
Yeah,
but
I
about
think
situations.
We're mature enough to be.
But
able
I
to
feel like
understand. Yeah.
I definitely am a lot more mature than I was. I mean, I'm middle aged. Like I don't get angry anymore.
Yeah.
And Chris is not the kind of person to push buttons to make me angry, like to try to make me angry. So even when we are talking about things, and I feel like I might be nagging, I think we do it respectfully.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So is there a difference between white woman nag and black woman nag?
Previous relationships, I've dated a very white woman, and I dated a Latina, half white. So I think Latina obviously was stereotypically Latinas are also hot-headed, and so it's hard to really judge and compare. But I think I don't know. Like I feel like besides that little moment, really, nothing.
But it did raise your eyebrows.
A little bit, yeah, sure, yeah. I think it was more just like this is what I thought it meant, and then you're interpreting completely differently. And I think that was very early too.
It was early.
It was very early, so.
But that happens. Like there's
Hey.
always
Oh, no.
it's
Yeah.
misunderstandings.
And especially in
Like-
text, and you send a picture, you don't say nothing. I'm
Yeah.
like, ah.
Yeah.
So.
But what did you think I was sending that for?
Well, no, I don't know what I thought. I just saw that picture and it triggered me.
It brought you somewhere.
Yeah.
and
took me-
it will happen more often. Like there's especially like George Floyd, then you land next to this white motherfucker. And he's sleeping all good, and you tossing and turning it back. It's like there's gonna
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's gonna
I mean,
be times. There's
there's-
gonna be.
Doing what I'm doing, I think she understands I'm on her side. That's
But
what
it's
I
still
hope
like
is,
we've
though.
talked about like police and
Yeah.
the difference. Everybody doesn't want it. I mean, no one wants to be stopped by the police.
No,
sure.
everybody.
And he said, everybody kind of, and I'm like, it's a different. You might be like, oh shoot, I'm getting stopped, but I start sweating, I'm panicking, and I'm hoping that I'm going home tonight.
yeah.
literally when I was putting these jeans on, and I have a button in the back, and my wallet is back here. When I was putting them on, I was like, damn, do I
Like,
want to
yes.
do I want to snap this button because I'm gonna have to reach and go like this if I get pulled over?
Yeah. No,
Why
it's a different.
why
it's
do
a
I have to
yeah.
think like that?
totally different thing?
Yeah, I got pulled over one night, and I mean, I've been pulled over before, but being pulled over at 1:00 in the morning by yourself as a black woman,
Yeah.
that's the scariest I've been in my whole life.
Right. Yeah.
And I was trying to explain that to him. Like, if you got pulled over, you might be a little bit scared, but I was scared.
Yeah.
Like, I was,
I'm not scared for my life. I'm more like,
Yeah.
what did I really like?
yeah.
And you can be an asshole. Like, what the fuck
Yeah,
you
like,
want? You
I'm
know what I'm
thinking,
saying?
like, how do I, code switch? Like, we have to
I'm
code
telling
switch.
you, man. Rent a white man or rent a white person.
And I hate that I have to be like, yes, sir, and yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but you
and
do. You're
all
like,
that.
just comply.
Like,
just
I
just
feel
so
like-
you can get out
Yeah.
my face. Like,
I was raised to say that too, though. So like, but you have to just to because if you don't, then it's like, why are you giving me lip or
Get out the car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And I hate that. I hate that you have to just like bow down.
So the
like,
number one privilege of dating a white man is when we're driving at night. I'm not driving. He's driving, and I'm like, okay, I'm good.
It's like reverse.
Woo!
What is it? Driving Miss Daisy, but it's the other way around.
Yeah. I'm like, thank you. So, but no, it's been good. It's been good. Thank you.
well, if you have any more questions, you can hit us in the comments, and we'd be more than happy to answer. You guys have any questions for me?
Do you approve now, Bree?
Oh yeah.
No, I never not approve. Okay, understand my situation. Just understand this. These are two of like my closest friends on two sides of the spectrum. This guy confides in me, and this lady confides in me. So I don't want to be in that. Tell me anything about him, and don't tell me nothing about, like, we can talk about,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't want to be in the middle of anything negative. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you get
Get it.
mad and be like, oh, fuck her. No, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? And then I just got to sit here like, yeah, fuck him. Yeah, fuck her. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in that
won't put you in
situation.
that
We won't ever
Yeah.
put you in it.
That was like my biggest like concern, but Chris always find a way to take my friends and shit
Take your friend.
or get in with my friends, but it's cool. It's
Your friends are my friends.
no, for sure. Like I feel confident like when I bring people around, like
Yeah.
for everybody to connect.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
that's the
I'm not
beauty.
selfish at all.
Yeah.
With
You're a perfect judge of character, so it's really like everything's
Yeah.
already figured out ahead of time. So, oh, you're cool with Brie? Okay, we're good.
That's how I would tell everybody when my black friends, when they'd hear about him. I'm like, oh, he's cool with Bree. Oh, okay.
No, Chris is
Yeah.
like my dog. Marilyn is my dog. Like we spend a lot of time with each other. So how is that gonna be with
Oh,
you
your
now?
timing?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Well, we're gonna spend time together. That's fine.
No, but
We got some double dating to do.
me and Marilyn, we've had our times by ourselves. So how is that for you?
And we still have. We
Yeah.
went hiking.
Oh, how is
Without
it
you.
like you guys going together?
Yeah.
I gotta watch you. No, it's been good. Actually, we were able to share each other. A little bit as
No,
far as,
like
the
it's
friendship.
this is like the best of both worlds, you know what I'm saying? Because like if you was to get a girlfriend that I didn't know or
Right.
something like
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, is she gonna like me?
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
gonna have to like her? And then
Right.
vice versa, like
Well, and it's easy because
Yeah.
I could still hang out with him.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, they know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where another man's like, I don't want you hanging out with that guy. Like,
Yeah.
but there's just like, it's nice.
like we like you know that we've been hanging out before you. So
Exactly.
like
I'm not worried about you.
yeah.
He's confident.
I ain't worried about you, Bree.
He's like, I
you-
I like you, but I ain't worried about you.
She went white.
Once you go white, there's no expression for that.
No, once you go white, you know you've been licked right. That's what you never heard that?
I haven't
never heard
either.
that one.
No?
Make that up.
No, that's what it is. Once you go
I
white.
mean, I've heard that without that expression. I mean, that's common knowledge, but I never heard that expression.
No, and it's like once you go black, you don't
Once
go
say it,
back.
It's very true.
Well, we know, Chris, we got that inside. I don't know, like that's.
Bree and I have known each other for a long time. He's heard a lot of stories. Seen a lot of things.
I have two white friends that I'm like close with, and they both.
Say the same stuff.
That's their
Like a
thing.
one- yeah.
They like eating pussy.
I'm gonna put that on the editing room floor.
Why? Hey,
All right. Well, enough of my secret's been given away. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. This actually is the last episode of the season. We have some planning for season 2 to do.
well, I will say this. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. That's very important for us. If you want to help us, please like, share, and subscribe.
Exactly. So thanks so much, guys. I want to bring Major, our producer, in here real quick because she's been phenomenal helping us out, getting us some really good guests. So Major, come on over here. I want to say thank you to you to coming out.
And also,
Come on. You got to
season 2,
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna have Major in the streets. So we're
Yes.
gonna have
Oh, I love it.
street interviews.
That's right.
And we're gonna incorporate that. So
Absolutely.
Hello, people. Am I in the frame?
You are. You're in a frame. You're in 2 frames. You're in 3 frames. Look at you. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Again, like and subscribe. We'll see you next season.
Drop a comment.
Yeah.
What's the difference between?